Well, hello there, folks, and a very warm welcome, as usual, back to What's for Tea. And it is lovely to see you again. So, yeah, thanks for coming over to check out this wee recipe. And I'm not just saying this, but this is probably the best sausage casserole that I have ever made. This one just turned out wonderfully because I used tomato soup, and I don't normally do that, but I had half a can of tomato soup just lying there in the fridge waiting to be used. So I did pop that in as well, and it has made such a wonderful difference. So I recommend you do that. All of the ingredients I'm using will be in the description box underneath the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is fry off my sausages. Now, you don't have to do this. I just prefer, if I'm doing something in the slow cooker that involves meat, I do like to fry it off first because A, it gives it a good bit of colour, and the sausages don't look as sad at the end. But I'm going to chop these up into small pieces, so it just makes them easier to chop up as well. So I just like to fry these off. You don't need to cook them all the way through because they are going into the slow cooker for hours as well. So just give them a good bit of colour on each side. And once you're happy with the colour, like I said, I chop mine up into bite-sized pieces. I just use some scissors that I use for meats and things so they don't get used for anything else. But you can leave yours whole if you prefer. So get over to your slow cooker. I am using a 2.5 litre Crockpot, and you want to set this to high, and we're going to be cooking this for about 5 hours. I'm using a sort of sausage casserole mix, and you will need something like this or similar because that is going to give you your gravy and help thicken everything up. So I recommend using a sausage casserole mix or gravy powder or gravy granules, whatever you prefer, just to give it that nice rich thickness at the end. And this has got a lovely tomatoey onion sort of flavour off of it, so this was ideal. To this I'm going to add some sage and also some thyme because that works really well with the pork sausages. Just about a teaspoon of each will be fine. You just want a nice wee background flavour of the herbs. You don't want them overtaken, but again, use whatever herbs complements whatever you're using. And then I've also very finely sliced 1 medium onion. I'm going to pop that in as well. I've got 2 carrots which I've just peeled and roughly sliced. I've got half of a Swede or rutabaga if you're in the States, which I've chopped into chunky pieces, and then a couple of parsnips which I've cut fairly small as well. So just give those a wee stir around, and don't worry if you think there's not enough liquid in there because your vegetables will release a lot of water as well. And just pop your sausages on the top and they will be quite happy just sitting there whilst everything else cooks underneath. And like I said, I'm going to pop in half a can of cream of tomato soup, and I think this just made it so wonderful. And then some salt and pepper on the top, just as much or as little as you like, or none at all. Like I said, this is mostly completely up to you. I'm just showing you what I done. So pop your lid on, and like I said, give this between 4.5 and 5 hours. Come back halfway through and give it a wee stir around just to get everything mixed in and get everything off the bottom to the top. And this is what I had 5 hours later. Like I said, I have been back to stir this just once through the cooking time, and this was absolutely perfect. Now you could, if you wanted as well, pop some potatoes in there. If you're not a fan of parsnips or the Swede or the rutabaga, you could pop some cubed potatoes in there, but we are going to be having mashed potato, so I didn't put any potatoes in there. So that's some very creamy mashed potato with butter and cream and parsley, some steamed green beans, and that's that wonderful sausage casserole on the side. And see that gravy, oh my goodness, my mouth is watering. It was so savoury and rich and tomatoey and oniony, and with the flavour and the fat of the pork sausages, it was just a wonderful mouthful of food. So highly recommend you give that one a go, and do let me know what sort of seasoning blend you would use in yours, or sort of casserole type mix, or would you just go with the gravy? Let me know down below. I'd be interested to find out. And just before I leave you, I wanted to say, as usual, a massive thank you to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here on YouTube as well, and for you all for watching and leaving your lovely comments, which I love to read, and unfortunately can't respond to each and every single one of you because there are thousands now every week, but I do read probably about 70% of them. And if you're not on Instagram or not follow me on Instagram, I'm What's for Tea 3 over there as well, and it would be lovely to see you. So I'm going to go off now and catch up with you next time, I think, for my wee shopping unbagging, and back on Sunday for meals of the week, and then back, no, Yeah, back on Sunday for meals of the week, and then back again, all over again with another recipe next week. So until I see you, take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Bye now.